Hey yo everybody, Haku here. I just woke up, so it is time for my live reaction to Tower of God chapter, I guess this would be 289, Season 2, Episode 209. So yeah, let's get into it. I would like us to start moving into the auction storyline, but sadly I do feel as though I feel as though this will probably be mostly just info like last chapter was, with finding out more and getting more setup about who's on the auction ships and how this is going to work, what kind of games they'll have, stuff like that. I think it's going to be a lot more setup than actual action. So starting out, hold on, my page is zoomed out. Okay, it's fixed, I think. There's no way to tell, and we see Jinsung overlooking the area. What on earth happened on the train for that guy to have come all the way to this dangerous station? I stopped here because the train happened to be passing by, but I never thought I'd see him here. So Jinsung is seeing that Jovial Grace is there with his team. Should I be comforted that he doesn't seem to have been killed by Joaquin? If this were the station, it would be a lot easier for us to intervene. However, a battle between a Slayer candidate and a Princess of Zahard, the battle is way too big to be held in this trivial stage. Tower of God, 39th floor, and Hell Train, Name Hunt Station 12. We see overlooking the floating island. Shall we get going? Hey, Red Horn. Yes? Says Kun and Red Greymon. Are the festivals always this noisy, with all of these named here? Or is it just this time? It's only this time. Usually there's just the 10 bosses, a few of their servants, and some auction items. Kaiser probably wants a public execution. She probably also intends on distracting the named from noticing that the no-named have turned against them. I see. Then it would be good to at least change my clothes, since my profile may have spread across. But how do we enter that place? You ride the floating island. Since the 10 bosses can't show themselves very easily right now, there won't be any major problems with entering the island. There are 3 entrances to the giant floating island where the festival's held. The two entrances are close to the place where they keep the auction items, so it's better to infiltrate in divided teams. I guess they meant 3. Translation. I see. Thanks for the info. Then we'll be going for Kaiser, and the hostage search team can be divided into 2 to get inside. Well, let's get ready and head out. 1 hour later. So are we going to see what their teams are? Okay, it looks like we've got Kun and Red Greymon there. We tried to prepare as quickly as possible, but there are already a lot of guys starting to move around. Well, they just love watching fighting. Yo, his hair looks cool. That's an order from the Kaiser. Since 10 bosses are moving, the named will also follow. Since there are many who lost their owners, they will be too uncomfortable to stand by. So, ship's team certainly had effect, says Kun. So we see Kun and Red Greymon together. This week, there's broken English so much. I'm fixing it as I'm reading through, but this says, where this floating island come from. It's like they're talking like cavemen this week. It's just one read through could help you fix all of these mistakes. I don't know. Usually it isn't that bad. There's just a couple mistakes here and there, which even then there probably shouldn't be. But this is almost every line is broken English. Where did this floating island come from? It's too big to be hidden below the corridor. Instead of appearing, what was unseen became seen. I'm the only one who's overly dressed. Thanks, Red Greymon. Yeah, the floating island was on invisible mode. That's awesome. Yes, that is the masterpiece that was there in the room of the 10 heads of the families. We should be careful when entering the room since there are traps inside it. I've already experienced plenty of the workshop's traps, says Bomb. What I'm worried about is whether they'll do something to Racken the others. Don't worry, says Kun. Don't worry too much about that, Bomb. They wouldn't mishandle their auction items too much. We shouldn't be timid. Plus Ship's team said they would tell us if they find them. I'm really loving Kun's design here. Andrasi? No, it's just Ship's idea. But I talked to them before leaving. We agreed on the idea of saving the hostages, but Ship's team intends to go and deal with the 10 bosses on their own. They seem more concerned about the fight between you and Andrasi than the hostages. If we don't gather the names of the 10 bosses within the time limit, they'll make you a servant in the battle, and then they'll use that as an excuse to fight Kaiser. So we have to save all the hostages somehow before tomorrow at 5 and steal Kaiser's name. Giant floating island, first entrance. We see Sachi, Boro, Ryun, and Novik. Their designs look really cool too. Ryun looking mighty sexy. And I'm loving seeing Novik and Sachi and Boro getting to be part of a team. Hostage team Ryun arrived. And then Ryun looks back at this entrance. We got stuck with the crappiest job. Maze hidden near the third entrance to the floating island. Hostage team Ron's group arrived. And we see Ron, the pink-haired chick, Dan, and Xiaxia. And again, Xiaxia looking mega sexy. I followed since there weren't any light bearers, said Xiaxia. Such a nuisance. And Ron is still sort of sleepy and half knocked out. I'm loving these teams. Sad we aren't getting to see some of the characters, but I am really liking these teams. The paths are all twisted together. The maze looks really awesome. Are there mazes like this at every entrance? Well, they may vary slightly, but there are similar mazes. Once you pass through the mazes, there are places where the auction items are kept. Viol's companions will be in one of those 3 places. Is there a possibility of putting the auction item in another place? Says, Dan. Well, there could be, says the pink-haired chick, but the possibility's low. Since that side will have gathered the named and the no-named area, they will contact us once they find it. Our companions got stuck in here ages ago, too. We broke into this place to save our companions. We managed to get through the maze and arrived there, but we couldn't stop them from being sold off. We were too weak to beat Kaiser and the 10 bosses, and since our companions were from the 10 families, the families strongly wanted to buy their names back. People who don't know about this place may say that those who escape are lucky, but I don't think so at all. He may have been from the 10 families, but he hated living under the shadow of the families. Right now, he's probably tied up with the families, living a life that he doesn't even want. I can't forgive them, this station and Kaiser, those in power who put leashes around the necks of the regulars, and those who help them. This I had, through that whole speech, which was a really good speech, I had to fix so much. There were, so many grammar mistakes and stuff. It's ridiculous. Hearing you say that makes me think that we had better save them as quickly as possible, says Dan. Have the other teams already arrived? It took forever for Kun to put on that suit. It looks like they just arrived at the floating island too. We need to rescue the hostage fast so we can fight Kaiser, says Xiaxia. Again, broken English there. What is with this week? This week the translation is a mess. I'm really liking seeing this though. Alrighty then, let's go, says Ron jumping down, and we see Xiaxia, the pink-haired chick, and Dan following. Is that? I'm wondering if that's an observer that the pink-haired chick has, if she's a scout with observers like a ship has and uses. We see Inietta just sitting there with Krishna. He looks up. Did someone just come in here? Somewhere near the second entrance, a hidden path. And we see Andrasi, Hatsu, and Ship. And I can't tell if that's somebody else in the background with them. Ship's team has arrived. What a relief that we gathered information about the floating island. I never thought that Kaiser would take hostages. And then Andrasi, why do we have to go through the trouble of doing this? I told you, I'll just go and fight Bomb tomorrow at 5. Wouldn't this all end if I just make Bomb my servant and beat Kaiser and then beat everyone else? Again, Andrasi being super selfish. Even when Rack and the others are captured. Why would they spend all night going after the 10 bosses when there's such a simple alternative? Don't they know that a lack of sleep is the worst enemy of skincare? Phew. Whose fault do you think all of this is, says Ship. Maybe it would be more productive to just help Bomb and his team save the hostages. And then Andrasi hits him in the back. Hey, did you want me to hear that just now? Do you have any idea what my delicate heart feels like after getting hurt by those insensitive jerks? Plus, you haven't forgotten that we stopped at this station for you and a knock, right? Sorry, says Ship. Again, though, Ship is right. Die, you jerk, and she's just kicking Ship. This is why you don't have a girlfriend. Sorry. Who caught the alligator? Says Hatsu, looking over. He isn't someone to lose very easily. REA Inietta, says Ship. Looks like he's on the move. From the REA family. That's right. Something must have stirred him, since he never budged no matter how much we provoked him. Anyway, let's be careful, since the 10 bosses we're hunting for are skilled fighters who have been working for Kaiser for ages. Just in case the 10 bosses are hiding near the residence, I left a knock and Vespa under it. Oh, and a knock looks so cute just hanging off of Vespa's back while she's flying around. Let's hurry up and get the ones around here. We'll split up for now. Holler if you happen to find the hostages. Alright. And we see Lorray is actually there with him too. He's on Hatsu's back. So we have those 4, and then we've got Vespa and Anak. I thought there were other members of Ship's team here that we saw. Am I forgetting somebody? Or is that everybody? I can't remember. We haven't seen Verdi or Amigo Chaz, so who knows if they're even here. And then we have Andrasi thinking to herself, it feels like we're making this complicated for nothing, but why do I keep feeling so irritated since a little while ago? It feels like someone keeps watching me. And we see Lilial and Chilial's silhouettes from the entrance just watching over them. Meanwhile, the second entrance to the floating island, and we see what were they called again? The floating ships arriving? I don't remember what they were called. Bomb and Coon's team arrived. Are we finally here, says Coon. It's the middle of the night, but it looks like a lot of people have already gathered. Is this a club or something? That damn Kaiser, with this many people around. Does she think that it'll be difficult for us to wander around? Most of the named are servants of Kaiser and the 10 bosses, says Red Greymon. So, if a fight breaks out here, we could end up having to face all of the named. I see, says Coon. How can I get to the corridor where Kaiser is, says Bomb. Well, once we get all the 10 bosses, then we'll know the way to the corridor. However, there wasn't any, so we really don't know. Okay, again, I'm really loving this chapter. This chapter is really good, but what is up with this translation? Let me read what it actually says that he said there. Well, Onek, we get all the 10 bosses, then we'll know the way to corridor. However, there wasn't any, so we really don't know. What is this grammar and spelling? It's like they're not trying. But why does this guy want to go to Kaiser so bad? Red Greymon is thinking. It would be better to ask an insider. Well, you would at least to be one of the 10. Well, you would at least have to be one of the 10 bosses to know such information. Again, having to fix it myself in my head as I read. That's what Kun said. Because what is with this grammar? Then they hear a giant slam as they're entering. What did you say? Say it again, you little jerks. Yo, is that Yukon? And he's stomping on some dude. Did you just say that I'm beneath Inietta? 10 bosses, waste human Yukon. Huh? Yo, Yukon is huge. Huge. That's not what I meant, Yukon. I just meant that Kaiser seems to be a bit more tolerant towards Inietta. That's exactly what I mean. Why would he get special treatment when we're both bosses? He should be punished for disobeying an order. How could that jerk get off without any kind of punishment? Damn it, this is infuriating. I can't get rid of this anger. Bring me that jovial Grace kid right now. And then Bomb looking, is that? I'm gonna capture him and prove that I'm better than any Edda. Is he one of the 10 bosses, says Kun. Yeah, Yukon, the so-called waste human, says Greymon. With his personality, he's played acting chief among the 10 bosses. After Inietta got here, he's been laying low. Still, there's no doubt that he's one of the most powerful members of the 10 bosses. It'd be too dangerous to face him here. Damn it, and he looks so angry. We should just pass him quietly. We would have to be around Jovial Grace's level to face one of the 10 bosses. Go and bring me that Viol guy right now. But we can't. You're all useless. You're the reason why Kaiser looks down on me. God damn it, you useless idiots. Kun, Bomb looks back. Yeah, it doesn't matter, says Kun. You can do as you wish. Hold on, what are you doing? And Bomb walks up to Yukon. Stop right there, are you insane? Yo, and Yukon looks pretty badass. Excuse me, says Bomb. Can you tell me the way to the corridor? This is the first time we got here, so we don't know the way. Who are you? Says Yukon. I'm the 25th Bomb. 20 what? But if you don't intend on removing your foot yourself, would it be okay if I remove it for you? What? He says. The people under it look repressed. What on earth is he doing? Says Greymon, screaming. Things will get out of hand if we fight one of the 10 bosses here. Easy there, don't worry. I have a plan, says Kun. You must be completely insane, says Yukon. I'm not insane. In fact, you're the insane one for wanting to find Jovial Grace. If you meet him, you'll probably be in big trouble. Because that guy is not in a good mood right now. Yo, Bomb freaking threatening this Yukon guy. Some people kidnapped his precious companions. Those people have conspired with powerful forces to torment regulars in similar stations. As the price for that, they live here on this little station bragging among themselves, as if they're emperors or rulers of the world. They're idiots who think that they're awesome without realizing how pathetic they are. If there really is a god on this tower, he'll never forget people like you. How dare you talk to me like that, you little jerk? Is this a death wish? Yo. Then Bomb freaking one-shots his ass. Huh? Straight in the face with a Shinsu blast. I'm not a god, so I make mistakes. And my actions cannot always be just, so I may not be able to say this is the right thing to do. And then we see Kun and Greymon's shocked faces. But I'm certain of one thing. I have a right to be angry at people who play with the lives of my companions. Yo, Bomb so detailed and badass looking, just blowing him away with a completely straight face. And I'm extremely angry right now. Yo, this chapter was so good. Like, I had to complain about the stupid translation all the way through, but that was so badass. Like, all of the Bomb stuff, seeing the different teams, the art was really on point this chapter. The art was amazing. Like, there wasn't much fighting, but what was there, like, pretty much just Bomb blowing away Yukon was so freaking good. And then, yeah, just seeing the different teams enter. I like how we have different stuff going on. We got Vespa and Anak back at the residences. We got Team Ryun, Boro, Sachi, and Novik. We got Team Ron, Dan, Jaja, and Pink-Haired Girl. And then we got the main Bomb Kun and Red Greymon team. Plus we have Ship Andrasi, Hatsu, and Lorray entering as a team as well in that hidden pathway. So there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. We got to see Ginseng again. So, I don't know. There's just a lot of cool stuff. I thought we were going to see more of who might be on the floating ships, the auctioneer ships. And I think we will still see that eventually. But I like that we jumped straight into this, straight into infiltrating the place. Because I think infiltrating the place and getting into the fights with the 10 bosses is going to be the best part of this. So, yeah. I'll read over it a friggin' bunch more, and then once I've read over it a bunch more, the review will be up tomorrow like usual. Wow, it was a pretty meaty chapter. I'm over 20 minutes in this. Also, I did want to say, just throw in there, that I saw that this morning a new Pokemon Sun and Moon trailer came out, and it's like 5 minutes long. So I'm going to hold off on watching it and actually do a live reaction later today. And then sometime later on, I'll probably do like my breakdown of the trailer. But either way, just throwing that out there. That'll probably be what's up later today. So thank you for watching. Like if you liked it. Comment down there. Tell me what you thought of the chapter and what you thought of my first thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Tower of God, One Piece, Walking Dead, and a bunch more. And follow on Twitter as usual if you want updates and whatnot. And that's it. So thank you once again for watching this time. And I'll see you all next time.